What's going on, folks? Another wonderful day out on the tubes. Thank you for joining in on Variety Error's YouTube channel, where we look through our pocket money to see if we find anything more than face value. So what is it that we are looking for? Who knows? I know. So let me tell you about it. Basically, we look for a few different things. As you notice on, say, this 5. This seal sits a little bit high. That'd be something that we look for. We also look for the print on the overall bill. Is it shifted? Is anything on the bill cut off? Does the color of the bill, is it off? Is there stray ink? We also look for fancy serial numbers. What are those, you ask? Fancy serial numbers are just that. Fancy serial numbers are, and actually now that I look at this 5, I'm going to talk about a different error, but fancy serial numbers are patterns found in the serial numbers. Serial numbers are 8 digits, so you can do a lot of things with those numbers. You can have ascending or descending ladders, which would be like 1 through 8 or 8 through 1. You could also have dates, so you could have like 01/01/1994, stuff like that. There's also other ones, repeating numbers and stuff. If you are wondering what those various fancy serial numbers are, check out my video that is entitled 15 plus rare notes you can find in your pocket change worth money. But let's get right to it. So, as I'm looking at this 5, I'm going to see if I have another 5. I do. Here we go. So, the reason why I was looking for another 5 is I can show you kind of something that's off. So, when you look at this seal, the Department of the Treasury seal on this upper 5, let me move these down a little bit, you can notice it's not sitting center like this one on the bottom is. That would be called a shift. Now, this happens for a variety of reasons. Generally, bills are put in a sheet. The sheet itself is larger than the bills that are printed on it, obviously. They come in various sizes, whether it's 16 bills, 32, whatever. And then they're cut to individual bills after it's printed. It goes through a multi-phase printing process. Now, these seals and the serial numbers are printed into the bill. They're not printed on the bill. Stuff that's printed on the bill is known as being printed intaglio, and that's through a kind of a standard printing process where it's rollers. Really, in this case, it's a plate that is holding ink, and it'll lay it down on the bill. So you'll notice with stuff that gets washed or old bills, these seals are generally still intact, whereas the rest of the bill is not. If we look at this, we can see that it does have a small shift, but the condition of the bill and how minimal the shift itself is not going to be collectible. On the reverse of the bill, we have kind of same scenario as the obverse of the bill or the front of the bill. We're going to look for a lot of the same stuff, minus the serial numbers and seals, since they're simply not printed there. I don't see anything on that one, so we'll just keep on moving on through. Now, you'll notice on the newer 5, there's parts of the bill that are brighter colored ink or more glossy ink, if you notice that. For example, on the top of the bill, right above and to the left and right of Abe's head there, you'll notice little black spots that are brighter. This is just simply, one, partially design. Also, it has to do with anti-counterfeiting. So it's not something that's collectible if you notice those are really bright. Nothing in the serial number here, and everything else seems to be printed properly. So we'll look at the obverse of the bill. Nothing nuts jumping out. It's definitely worn and has been in and out of some pockets. So we'll move on from that. Flip this guy around. I do have a video that I have just not got around to editing that's going to talk about $10 bills, their security features, as well as why the color difference. So check that video out in the next couple days. I will actually put it out towards the end of this week. So check that out if it's something that interests you. Now, nothing crazy with the serial number. I know I'm holding the bill up. I'm going to try not to shake it a bunch. I do have my camera on a tripod. Now, this one's got a pretty heavy ink here, but I doubt that that's anything to do with anything. If you notice the wear on the serial number on this left-hand side, it's just from age that this one just happened to not be. Most likely it was folded. You can already tell it was previously, and just rubbed against some stuff. Nothing on the reverse except for some smudgel and makeup, so we'll move on from that. Now, if you're wondering where the series number is, we've been looking at 2013 series bills so far. That's right there. That was both those $5 bills as well as the 10s here. I love the $10 bill as well. The depictions in the back on the newer bills are definitely graphically appealing to me. If you notice on a lot of bills, we'll talk about that in the security feature video. It's hard to see on the camera, but these little lines here are threads that are embedded into the paper, which is not really standard paper, of the bill for anti-counterfeiting. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the plate numbers and stuff like that. Let's go on to this one. Ooh, I actually see something very cool on this one. So if you notice there, we have an over ink. So now on series, let me show you. On series, come on, focus there, camera. There we go. On series 2013 ones, it's very common to see an over inking on the third digit on the upper right serial number. However, this one's actually kind of a stray ink over ink. Let me see if I can get it to focus a little better there. There we go. See that 1 there next to that 5? That is an over inked 1. Simply, usually has to do with the plate that puts down the depiction onto the bill. Generally has a abnormality with it that just is holding excess ink in that spot. So slightly collectible, I'll set it off to the side, but I wouldn't say it's got a bunch of premium over face value. I'll go a little bit quicker through the rest of the bill so I'm not just boring the crap out of you, but I want to make sure I give you guys information on stuff so you know what you're looking at. I love answering your questions, but if I can answer them in a video and you don't have to waste your time typing, then, I'd rather do that. Next 10, this is Series 2009, not a 13, so they changed the bills over in 2009 to this graphic on the bill. They got rid of a couple things like the outline around the portrait of the president. They added some stuff in the back, and a lot of that had to do with, one, making the bills easier for people with visual impairments, one with the color and the enhancement and things to tell what denomination they have, but also to cut down on counterfeiting. They have not done a graphics change on 1s or 2s in quite some time, so they're very much the same as they've been for a while. Kind of shoot through these. So, for example, this has the same 4 digits in it, 3s, 8s, 4s, and 0s. That would not be collectible. I had somebody ask me about that. Now, a trinary note, if it was just 3, 8s, and 4s, I would say is collectible. Binary notes with just 2 digits are obviously very collectible. And then ones that have pretty much all the same digit, for example, if it had like a 3 here and then 0s in the rest, that would be collectible. Stuff like that, but something with 4 digits is just simply not collectible. It's as common as can be. Nothing jumps out at me on that $5 bill, so we'll kind of shoot on. Everything seems printed appropriately. The seals are sitting right. This is never going to be perfectly on top of whatever denomination it is that the bill, it's printed on whatever bill. But if it's shifted heavily, then I would say that's collectible in a regard. So this one is not, though, but just to give you an example. Series 2013 one. As I said, these have not been changed around a long time. So, ones have looked the same since I believe the last change, I believe, was in the 60s. But correct me if I'm wrong on that. I mean, nothing really crazy on the reverse of the bill. I've seen some stuff over inked where it says Annuit Septis here, but I haven't really found a lot of stuff with reverse issues other than over inks or lack of ink. I don't know why that is so much, but it's the case. This one's really beat up, so I'm not even going to really spend my time looking on it too much. Unless an error really pops out on a really old, beat-up bill, then it's not worth really anything to me. Let's see. Good repetition of 5s in the beginning of the serial number. If it was a lot more, they were blocked up, I would say that it's a little bit better of a collector's item. This is just a standard serial number. This seal's sitting a little bit low, but not enough to call home about. And other than that, I don't see anything crazy on the bill other than general, wear and tear. Same thing with the back. Last 2 bills here. No date bills or anything that we found so far, so that's not anything important to me. This one's really beat up, has been folded quite a few times, and is really just kind of crapified. So we'll move on from that. Ooh, okay, here we go. A little star note action. Some people I know in the group on Facebook, as well as here, don't necessarily care about star notes. I like star notes. I collect and try to keep as many of them as I can, especially ones that have collectible serial numbers. This one does not in this case. However, a star note is a replacement note, so during printing of the bill, essentially something happened to the bill, it got bound up, it got misprinted, it had an error that in quality assurance they caught, and essentially replaced the bill, changing the letter on the end of the bill, here, if I can point correctly, to a star to show and basically annotate that bill has been replaced. It's not the original bill. It's not the, it's the original serial number, but not the original bill. So star notes are really cool. That's what the star looks like. I'll bring it closer to the camera. It looks exactly the same down here. Now, I have seen a filled star due to just an over ink, and I think those are very collectible. Also, ones that are like silver certificates or red seal notes that are star notes are obviously collectible, as well as $2 bills. So in this bill search, we found an over ink right here on this one here, and I'll bring that closer to the camera. Nothing crazy. If it was really over inked or another, or just excessively more than this, I would say it's really collectible, but I like it and I'm going to keep it for the collection. And then as you guys who watch my videos know, I love $2 bills and star notes, so this star note is going to go in the collection of star notes I have, amongst the many, many others that I've collected. So that's what we came across in this daily bill search video. We found a little something, but nothing too crazy. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow with another video where we look through my pocket change and try to find something worth some moolah so I can share it with you. Let's all get rich together, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.